Hey guys, let's begin with the next part of our first module, mediators, as in all the parties that are involved when you're trading. Now, suppose you want to buy vegetables. What do? You go to a vegetable market. When you go to a vegetable market, you'll find two sorts of people who are selling vegetables and people who are buying vegetables. Similarly, if you want to buy fishes, you go to a fish market. You'll find two sorts of people there, people who are selling fishes and people who are buying fishes. Similarly, when you want to buy stocks, you go to a stock market or a stock exchange. India has two stock exchanges, the National Stock Exchange NSE and the Bombay Stock Exchange BSE. Fun fact, Bombay Stock Exchange is the oldest stock exchange in Asia, and it has over 5,000 listed companies. Now that we know about the market, let's talk about the market participants, as in people who are there to buy or sell shares. Right, so these people are generally divided into 5 categories: domestic retail participants, as in people like you and me; NRIs, as in people who are Indians but they reside outside India; domestic institutions, as in big companies like LIC; asset management companies like mutual fund houses; foreign institutional investors, as in companies that are located outside India but they are interested in investing in Indian companies. Now, where there is money involved, human emotions in the form of greed and fear run high, and it is very easy for someone to fall into the trap of unfair practices. So, for that, we need a regulator, someone who would set some sort of rules and make sure that people follow these rules. For that, we have SEBI, or the Securities and Exchange Board of India. SEBI makes sure that the stock exchanges conduct their business fairly, the stock brokers conduct their business fairly, the participants do not fall into the trap of unfair practices, the corporate do not take advantage of the market, large investors who have a lot of money do not manipulate the market, and they also make sure there is some sort of development in the market. Now, when you open a account with your stockbroker, there are three accounts that are necessary to be linked with each other for you to trade successfully: bank account, trading account, and a demat account. For opening a bank account, you will obviously go to a bank. To open a trading account, you will go to your stockbroker. Demat account, on the other hand, is handled by depository participants, or DP. But nowadays, you do not really have to go to a DP directly. Whenever you open a account with your stockbroker, they will open your trading account and they will also, on your behalf, go to a DP and they will open your Demat account. India has two DPs, Central Depository Services Limited, CSTL, and the National Securities Depository Limited, NSDL. Now, whenever you want to trade, what you do is first you send that amount from your bank account to your trading account. Now, when you have money in your trading account, you are eligible to buy or sell shares. And suppose you buy share, what happens? The money gets debited from your trading account and the shares get credited in your Demat account. Similarly, when you sell shares, this shares get debited from your Demat account and the money gets credited in your trading account. But it does. The shares do not get credited or debited on the same day. It takes T plus 2 days. T as in the trade day and 2 days after that. Right, now that we are talking about buying and selling, let me make the buying and selling scenario very clear. What happens is, suppose you want to buy 5 shares of Reliance, right? You see that Reliance is doing really good and you need 5 shares of Reliance. You go to the stock exchange and you are like, hey, listen, I need 5 shares of Reliance and I'm ready to pay 5,000 rupees. But there are a lot of people who need the shares, who need shares of Reliance. So there is bidding going on. There are a lot of bidders. Suppose you are saying, I need 5 shares of Reliance, I'll pay you 5,000 rupees. There would be someone else who would be saying, give me 5 shares of Reliance and I'll pay you 5,100 rupees. Similarly, there would be someone who would be like, give me 5 shares of Reliance, I'll give you 4,500 rupees. So these are all the buyers who are bidding for the share. Similarly, there would be sellers who would give you offers. They will be like, hey, Reliance looks really good. You need 5 shares of Reliance. I'm ready to give you 5 shares of Reliance, but you need to pay me 5,000 rupees. Someone else would be like, hey, listen, you want 5 shares of Reliance? You can pay me just 4,900 rupees and I'll give you 5 shares of Reliance. Someone else would be like, listen, the Reliance is booming like anything, right? You need 5 shares of Reliance, give me 5,100 rupees, right? So there would be buyers and sellers, buyers providing with bids and seller providing with offers. The more the number of buyers, prices go high. The more the number of sellers, the prices come down, right? I will attach a video of the bidding and the offer process. What happens, there is a order matching system. So whenever you need 5 shares of Reliance for 5,000 rupees, it would automatically match you with someone who is selling 5 shares of Reliance for 5,000 rupees. So this is called order matching system, which the stock exchange follows. You wouldn't come to know who you're selling your shares to or who is buying shares from you, because you do not really care about the person. You just make sure that you receive 5 shares of Reliance. For giving that confirmation, you have clearing corporation. So clearing corporation has a very simple job. Suppose when you need 5 shares of Reliance and someone is selling you 5 shares of Reliance, the clearing corporation makes sure that the 5 shares gets debited from his account and 5,000 rupees gets credited in his trading account, and the 5 shares get credited in your demat account and 5,000 rupees gets debited from your trading account. That's job number one. There is one more job of the clearing corporation, is that they make sure there are no defaulters. Suppose you are selling 5 shares of Reliance to someone who is paying you 5,000 rupees. The person goes like, hey, transfer me 5 shares of Reliance, I'll give you 5,000 rupees. You transfer him 5 shares of Reliance, but he goes like, hey, I do not have 5,000 rupees to pay you, bro. Or suppose you want to sell 5 shares, you want to buy 5 shares of Reliance, and someone wants to sell 5 shares of Reliance. He'll be like, hey, you transfer me 5,000 rupees, I'll give you 5 shares of Reliance. You transfer him 5,000 rupees, then he goes like, hey, listen, I do not have any shares to give it to you. So they make sure there are no defaulters, right? And in case there are a few people who think that, like people of the older generation who says, hey, we do not trust the digital world, right? So for them, what you can do is you can go to your DP and you can fill up a form and be like, hey, I have 5 shares in my demat account, can you give a certificate of that share? So they will give you a certificate of your holdings, right? So before, in the 1990s, they used to whenever you used to buy shares, they would give you share certificates that confirm that you own these many shares of country. But after the 1990s, the digital world came into place and they made a demat account. Demat stands for dematerialization. So your certificates, they do not provide you with certificates, they just transfer the shares into your demat account. But in case if you need certificates, what they'll do is you can just go to your DP and they'll issue you share certificates. I hope you understood whatever I tried conveying you in this video. We will learn a lot more in the coming videos. Till then, take care, cheers, and I'll see you in the next video.